Greetings and salutations. In this video, I want to talk about a problem that has been frustrating me for a while. Quality issues with Hasbro's Studio Series Transformers. Specifically, Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime. Now, I love what Hasbro's been doing with the Studio Series line, don't get me wrong. And of course, I have put quite a lot of money into it myself, so feel free to drop the "so why did you buy it" comments. But there's a real issue here, and it's something that needs to be addressed. So let's dive in. Here we have the Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime. It's a great looking figure to be sure, though a little on the small size for me. But man, when transforming him from robot mode to truck, these arms just do not want to stay in place. They just don't fit right. If you've ever owned this figure, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've gotten dozens of comments on my YouTube short and even on TikTok as well, with other people stating they have the same issue. These tabs here on the grill are supposed to lock everything together, but they never seem to hold properly, and after multiple transformations, well, you can see what happened here. One of my tabs snapped off. I don't even know when it happened. It's just gone. And now the front doesn't close up the way it should, and that just makes for a frustrating experience. I just don't even want to have him in truck mode, so he stays a robot now. The problem stems from the fact that Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime is what I call a squish former. And all that means is that at some point in the transformation, you have to squish a good section of the figure together to make it transform properly. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've had more than a few Transformers that do this. And this clearly is going to make problems in the long run. There's just too much stress on the small plastic tabs charged with holding everything together, and over time, that kind of stress is going to lead to some sort of break. Now, once that tab has been broken, as far as I'm concerned, there's really not too much more you can do about it. Some have suggested to me online that I just go out and buy a third-party figure to replace it or to possibly replace the part. Now first I have to say, for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of third-party figures. I don't know if it's nostalgia or whatever else, but personally I like to stick to Hasbro, mainline, Studio Series, that sort of thing. On top of that, there is an issue with trying to replace a part with a third-party part. Often the colors and other things just don't quite match up right. For example, I have this Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie, and he's missing a part on his shoulder that apparently is notorious for getting lost, and a lot of people are missing this part. I ordered a replacement online from eBay, but as you can tell, that replacement part, the colors don't quite match up with the original figure. Now bonus points, and put it in the comments for me if you can tell if the figure I have is the original or if it is in fact the knockoff. Either way, these parts didn't actually match up, and I can't have this sticking in there with this miscolored red. It just doesn't look right to me. Now, since I really did like this figure and didn't really see a plausible way to fix it that didn't involve a 3D printer and some sort of crazy glue and hope that things would hold together, I decided I would take my chances with picking up Studio Series 44 Optimus Prime, which is essentially the same figure but with a few improvements. At first glance, it looks like they fixed some of the issues. The truck mode comes together a little better, the paint is definitely improved, and of course you get those cool jetpack accessories to recreate that amazing scene from Revenge of the Fallen. And that's really cool. But here's the thing, despite these changes, the core issue still remains. The arms still have to be squished together in truck mode, and honestly, I feel like it's only a matter of time before this one breaks too. Every time I transform it, I do it as carefully as possible. Yes, we want the conversion to be complex, but we don't want to be terrified doing it. And ultimately, I'm just worried that history will repeat itself. Now humor me for a second, and let's take a step back and compare these to an older figure. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. This figure, as you all know, came out in the late 2000s, and while the transformation is complex, the quality is just on another level. Even though he's twice the size of these Studio Series Primes and 20 years older, the plastic feels sturdier, the joints are tight without being brittle, and despite all the moving parts, I mean, just listen to those ratchets. Everything tabs together properly. Sure, it's possible to break this guy as well, I know many folks have, but that would be more the fault of user error, as his transformation is fairly complex, and not because he is in any way a squish former, far from it. It really makes me wonder what changed. Is it a cost-cutting measure, a shift in production methods, or is it just that Hasbro is prioritizing other aspects of these figures over durability? Look, at the end of the day, I have mostly loved what Hasbro is doing with the Studio Series line. They're giving us screen accurate figures, better articulation, and some pretty amazing designs. But if we're going to pay $30, $40, or even more sometimes for these figures, if you're lucky enough to find them when they first come out and not have to buy them on eBay, but that's a whole other video, we need them to last. I really hope Hasbro takes a closer look at quality control in the future because these figures deserve better. Even the ones who represent our fallen heroes that apparently Hasbro released just to break our hearts all over again. But seriously, I do love Studio Series. When it's at its best, it's fantastic. I just want more quality control so I know these figures will last. But what do you guys think? Have you had issues with your Studio Series figures? Or has your Studio Series 32 held up better than mine? It could all be my fault. Let me know in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more of this content. Hope to hear from you soon, and I'll see you next time.